Mark Rogers TV back with you to talk NFL draft booms and busts. We've only made it through one round of the draft, and we have plenty of guys to run down on each list. We gave you Jamal Adams as a boom. Now we give you a bust in Mitchell Trubisky. Is this a big surprise? And this isn't just about Mitch Trubisky. This is about the entire process of drafting him number 2. Mitchell Trubisky, since throwing his last pass in a competitive game, has risen from not completely in the first round on everybody's radar to a low first round guy to a guy that a team like the Cleveland Browns would reach for at, let's say, number 12 with their second pick, to a guy that placed second in the draft, number 2 overall. So he hasn't done anything to back up that elevation over the last couple months on the competitive football field. So it's more about the positioning than it is about Mitchell Trubisky. The Chicago Bears are not the New England Patriots. The Patriots can go for one guy and be so enamored with one guy to say, we want to take a flyer on him. We want to go after this guy because we think he could be special. And if we miss it, we're still good. The Chicago Bears have holes all over the place on the too deep chart on both sides of the football. They need volumes of good football players. They're not going to be able to supply Mitch Trubisky with the type of support that he needs to be successful. And I know Mike Glennon's going to be the starter at the beginning, but if Mitchell Trubisky's not on the field next year, and certainly in 2019, Bears fans will deem this a failure, as they should. Mitchell Trubisky's a fine quarterback. He can sling it. He's not special, though. He can sling it. I expect him to be in the right place with the right tutelage and the right supporting cast, a fine NFL quarterback. But to justify the second pick in the draft, and this is the one position where you can talk about accomplishments justifying the pick more than any other player on the field. Quarterback, what do you have to do to justify the number 2 pick? And this isn't going to be all on Mitchell Trubisky, but when the history books write the story on Mitchell Trubisky, it is going to be all on him, unfortunately. So what do you have to do? Do you have to win a Super Bowl championship? Well, it's a team game, and I'm the last guy on the earth who rates quarterbacks strictly on Super Bowl championships. I think that's ludicrous. It's idiotic, but it's a part of the story, and it's the most important accomplishment in the sport. I don't care about Pro Bowls. They're insignificant. Mitchell Trubisky has to play well in big games, and in the NFL, just about every game's a big game. So the competition's even, so he's got to play good, quality football week to week. He has to turn into a top 5 quarterback. When we're talking about quarterbacks in the NFL in 5 to 7 years, like we do right now, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, we need to talk about Mitchell Trubisky, not as an all-time great. That can't be thrust on anyone. He can't be Peyton Manning necessarily, or Tom Brady, or Joe Montana. But he needs to be talked about like a Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers is today, at least to that degree. And because of the losses that the Bears took in trying to get him in the draft, that's going to make it less likely that they're going to be able to succeed with Mitchell Trubisky. So it's less about him, more about the position he's in, but it's also about Mitchell Trubisky not being the second best player on the board, being the 20th or 25th best player on the board, maybe. So Mitchell Trubisky, bust, relatively speaking, to the Bears at number 2. Let's talk it up right here on Mark Rogers TV.